Hi guys, my name is Basiko. In this channel, we're all about nourishing your growth, focusing on personal development and self-discovery. We also talk about faith in this channel. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The more you like, the more you subscribe, the more YouTube is able to push this video so that more people can be able to see it. Today, we're talking about how to heal from long-term relationships. Long-term relationship leave you with so much hurt and so much anger. You find yourself thinking to yourself, how the hell did you let yourself be with this person for this long? Even ask yourself, well, how did you allow the things that happened in the relationship to even happen in the first place? Like, there's so many things that happen after you leave that relationship. Yes, you don't want to get back with this person, but the hurt that you feel, the anger that you feel, that lack of trust that you no longer have because of that relationship that you were in, guys, you find yourself pointing fingers at this person. Why did I not see the signs, the red flags, especially if the breakup was not mutual? And if you don't deal with it, you end up hindering your process from moving on and his process from moving on. Yes, he might seem like he has moved on, he might have a new girlfriend, but the more you hold on to that anger towards him, the more you hold on to that hurt that you have towards him, you are also hindering him from actually moving forward with what has happened between the two of you. So if you are finding a hard time getting over a long-term relationships, these are the things that you need to do. Firstly, delete those numbers. If you guys have children, then let your communication be about the kids only and nothing else, and block him from all social medias. Make sure that you don't see anything he's up to, you don't see anything that he is doing. Make sure that you delete and block him on all social media platforms. You need to detox. So the best way to start detoxing is for you to delete those numbers. Also, if you find yourself that every time you think of your ex, that anger starts brewing, and it starts now, you start getting angry, you start thinking of all the bad things that happened, all the memories start flashing back of all the things that happened in your relationship, it is time for you to start writing that letter of forgiveness, because that means that you haven't forgiven yourself for the mistakes that have happened in the relationship. You haven't forgiven him for the mistakes that he has done in the relationship. It is time for you to start writing that forgiveness letter. Write yourself a letter forgiving yourself for all the wrong things that went down in the relationship, because it's important for you to also take responsibility of what happened in the relationship, because a relationship happens between two people. So you can't blame the other person and when not take responsibility of what you did. It's time for you to write down what you are forgiving yourself for and what is it that you are forgiving him for, and then read that letter back to yourself and tell yourself that you want to heal from these things. And then once you're done with that letter, you can either tear it up or you can burn the letter, so that you can feel like you are burning away all that resentment that you are holding in. Or if you don't want to write a letter, start praying for this person. Stop seeing him as the person that hurt you or the person that the relationship didn't work out with. Just start seeing him as a human being who God loves and God forgives him. When you also need to pray for him, because that's what I personally did when I was finding it hard to move on from my long-term relationship. I started praying for my ex, so that me and my ex accept the fact that the relationship is over. The relationship, what was no longer going to be. And I also released him. I also prayed that God help me forgive him for the mistakes that he has done, and help him to forgive me for the mistakes that I have did, and help us to move forward, the both of us, so that he can also have a clear path wherever he's going. I can also have a clear path moving forward. So what I noticed, that praying for that person, you no longer see him as that guy that the relationship didn't work out with. You actually see him as a human being who makes mistakes. And let me not disregard the time that we have spent together. Yes, it was special at that moment, but it is time for us to move on. When you start praying, you release yourself of all that anger and the resentment that you're holding inside. So make sure. And also another thing that you need to start doing, if you and his family had a good relationship and you guys got along like a house on fire, unfortunately you need to take the decision of having to cut that umbilical cord. As much as it's so hard, as much as it's so painful, you're gonna need to cut that umbilical cord, because when you cut in that umbilical cord, you're actually making it clear for both parties that, guys, I'm no longer going to be with this person anymore. I am choosing to cut my ties with you guys. And I know it's painful, I know it is hard, I had to do it myself. I chose myself and I chose to cut that umbilical cord, so that also you don't complicate your life in the future. Also, imagine yourself in a new relationship. Why are you still talking to your mother-in-law, yet you guys are no longer together? it doesn't look good. So those are the things that you need to start doing when it comes to long-term relationships. And also, when you make the decision of walking away, make sure that you are making it for yourself. You are not making it based on children. You are not making it based on anyone else. You are walking away because you want to walk away. You can see that this relationship, you've given it all. It's no longer working. It's time for me to move on. And when you move on, make sure that you're not holding on to any grudges, because one thing about it is that you holding on to any anger, resentment is not going to help anyone. So let's make sure that when we move on a clean slate. So those were the things that I wanted to share with you, and I hope it resonated with you. Please comment down below and tell me what you think of this video, if you liked what I was talking about, and also how did you heal from a long-term relationship. Please comment down below. Do not forget to check out my digital store, Nourish Your Growth. I have a free ebook, Overcoming Disrespect from Parents, helps you to move forward, accept, and also have a journal that also has scriptures, questions on spirituality and religion. So you can just definitely check it out in the description. Also a journal for children, people who suffer from low self-esteem, who suffer from a lot of teenage issues that they might be facing. So please check out in the description box. I will definitely see you in another video.